Shabbat Shalom. Call Halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem. Those who don't honor should the elder apostles and the bishops, a great millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, hopeful like Tabernacle of David. On the brother Elder Yashawan. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. The name of this lesson is going to be Connecting the Dots. Now that these files have come out, and they're permeating the atmosphere for everybody. It's the national pastime is to break them down, and we're going to let them do it and bring us the information, and we'll assess it and then tell you what it means. Okay? Anyway, now that some of these things, right, now that the files have come out and you can look in and see, you can connect some dots, right? Let's start with Michael Jackson. 1 Timothy 5 and 24. Some men's sins are open beforehand, going before judgment, and some men, they follow afterwards. Cross-reference. There's nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, and nothing hidden that will not be made known. What you have spoken in the dark will be heard in the light, heard in the daylight, and what you have whispered in the inner rooms will be proclaimed from the housetop. That's where we're at right now. Most High sees everything. Nothing in all creation is hidden from the Most High. So he already knows. He's just revealing it now. Matthew 20 and 6. So don't be afraid of them, for there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, and nothing hidden that will not be made known. Well, we're in that time, and now we're able to connect the dots. And so when I say we can start with Michael Jackson, we can go straight to Sabby Sabs. Where'd she go? Let's see, Sabby said subscriptions. Sabby is just one of the many, right? That what am I looking for? What's this doing? Salakia, bear with me. History. I want my subs. It's not giving it to me. Anyway, this is weird. Oh, you on that view. Where's my let me see if I can find it in the history real quick. This isn't coming up the way it's supposed to. Let me see. Did I watch that Michael Jackson Sabby Sabs? How come I can't get to her? There it is right here. Vindicated. Okay. So we're connecting the dots. This is Sabby Sabs, Elder Apostle Tahar's future wife. Salakia. Okay, so I'm going to just let her set it up real quick. Zooby dooby doo. Let me see. Come on, doobie doobie.
Doobie doobie doo. Michael Jackson tried to warn us a long time ago. Michael Jackson tried to warn us what was happening within the music industry and Hollywood altogether. But Michael Jackson was labeled a child abuser. He was labeled a pedophile. He was accused of assaulting and abusing children, which he denied. And after looking at the Epstein files, I didn't see one thing about Michael Jackson. It's funny, it's interesting. Some people tried to use a photo of Michael Jackson and they said this is him on the island. That was actually a picture of Michael Jackson at some Democrat event. He's not there. But a lot of other people are. And then later on, some of these kids came forward and said that their parents put them up to this, to get money out of Michael Jackson. One of them, you may have known of, Aaron Carter. He talked about this, and many others, which we'll get into. But Why did these people come after Michael Jackson? Why did the industry want to take him down? I think
About to find out because everything's coming out. Suddenly, Michael Jackson is
we need to
exonerated.
go back to Sony. And there was a guy named Tommy Mottola.
Okay, so we don't have to go any further than that. But because of the Epstein files, Jackson is being exonerated in the files themselves. That Neverland was created to divert and hide those kids from the predators. Because you know that Mike went through all of that as a kid. So, he tried to flip it. He tried to get out of it, it seems. But at the same time, this is the biggest entertainer on the face of the earth. What did he have to do to achieve that? He had to do some wickedness, Mike. Sorry. Okay, so, and that's going to come out too. All right, they're going to have you with that donkey or whatever, right? Because you did have to do some shit to get there, right? And then you might have felt, had a change of heart and think you got to expose some shit, or you didn't really expose nothing, but you were, you didn't come out and say there's a bunch of damn pedophiles. They're the pedophiles, not me. You didn't say that. So, at some level, even though you're exposing, you were still covered. Anyway, let's go here. EPSTEINFILES. And what? 911? Who did that? Who did 911? Was it Muhammad Atta when they found his ID at the base of the towers within minutes? Oh, we found his ID, right? Was it him? Or was it the small hats, right? Working in conjunction, right? That's what came out of the Epstein file. Let's get that. Let's get there. Watch what comes up. So we're able to connect some dots. The truth is coming out. Bombshell. Email ties Galan, or whatever her name is. Jillian, right? G. Maxwell to 911. What is that? Where's the real pilot? Okay? So we're connecting dots. Things that happened, what? What's this? 911. Shit. 27 years? 28? Let's look at this. Vertex, whatever that is.
At Les Schwab, we design our.
Sloppy. What happened?
A secret shadow commission on 9/11, an email invite to Ghislaine Maxwell, and a haunting line sent days after the attacks. Where is the real pilot? Buried in the newly released Epstein files, these messages reopen old wounds. What exactly was being discussed behind closed doors? And why now?
That means they had something to do with it. Where's the real pilot? Right? Easily a plane could have been flown out to one of those islands and switched. Right? And then the remote plane be flown whatever. If it was flown into whatever. Right? Into an empty field, into the Pentagon, whatever. Right? Who did that? Was it bin Laden working from the cave in Tora Bora with a laptop computer? Did he manage to pull that whole thing off by himself? And if he did he get with Epstein and Maxwell and give them a part in it? Well, Tim Osmond was actually CIA, so you never know. But what are we doing now? We're able to connect the dots with this information. Okay. What else is coming out right now? I had about 4 things, and I'm forgetting 2. Let's see. Um, oh, I know what I was going to do. I'm going hungry. I don't know. I don't know if the I'm going hungry part means that I'm not eating with you, these children, and drinking that blood, or while you guys are doing this, us poor people, we're going hungry. Whatever. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Soundgarden, who Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington were killed. This is, my realm because I'm into music, right? Not into it. That's my profession. And my brother was auditioned for Chester's job, and they passed on him, and they hired Chester. So my brother, right, would have been Chester, right? He would have been involved in that whole thing. Which, when you get into Chester Bennington, that's this guy Panetta. What's his name? Is it Leon or is it Panetta? It's not Panetta. It's I think it's Panetta. Leon Panetta. That's his son, right? What's the guy's name? I think it's the Panetta brothers, and Bennington is the son. When you get into it, and he was being, S8 or whatever. But what are we getting? Okay, Soundgarden. Here we go. I'm going hungry. Lyrics and let's see. I'm going hungry. They're baiting. They want me to click on that. Lyrics. Okay, so let me tell that story again. And I'm just going to touch on it. Lincoln Park, my brother, right, auditioned for the Lincoln Park job. Okay. And they passed on him and they hired Chester. Okay, Chester's ass is dead because Chester was working with Chris Cornell of Soundgarden, right, on a documentary or expose piece, bringing out this situation, this child, situation, right? Now, with that being said, okay, myself personally, okay, there's a band, famous rock band named the Stone Temple Pilots, okay? Now, the story with the Stone Temple Pilots, I used to work with them. My band used to open for their band when we went to Hollywood, right? And then when they came to our town in Central Cal, right in the valley, they would come, and they weren't called the Stone Temple Pilots then. They were called Mighty Joe Young, okay? Mighty Joe Young used to come down here and open for us in my little town in Central California. And then when we would go to Hollywood, we would open for them, right? And it was a back and forth thing. And then they disappeared for 6 months, and then they came out as the Stone Temple Pilots, right? And so what I'm saying is we were working in the same circles. We were at the same level. Actually, we were whooping their ass because they were doing our music, which is basically funk, Fishbone, Red Hot Chili Peppers type stuff. And that's what Mighty Joe Young was trying to do. So when they came out as the Stone Temple Pilots, everybody knew. They came out with plush and all of that. And it was rock. It was totally different than what they were doing. And it went directly to the top, right? Imagine me. I know these guys, but they went directly to the top and became rock stars overnight, right? Put out a few records. Now that dude is dead too. So you got Kurt Cobain, you got Scott Weiland is the name of the Stone Temple Pilots frontman, who is now dead. So what I'm saying is that could have been me. Okay, if I would have signed any one of those deals and took that Faustian bargain like they did, I'm sure that I wouldn't be here because I wouldn't have. First of all, I wouldn't have took the deal. I never took any of those deals because I wasn't going to sign away my publishing, but that's a whole different story. The point I'm making is these dots are being connected. All right, Chris Cornell is dead. Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park is dead. Why? Because they were trying to expose this thing, right? And they were shut down. These stories were floating around forever, and they were trying to, get some traction, but they shut it down. They were able to shut it down. How is the Vatican still shutting down this child molestation thing right now? Right here, you got Epstein, you got all this child trafficking. Vatican been doing this for how long? And nobody's going to do nothing, or they'll send out, what's this nigga's name? Forrest Gump, who is a Vatican assassin. What do you know about that? Okay. Anyway, this is how close, right, this thing hits, right? I know those guys. I know the DeLeo brothers. I know, and what happened to this dude? He's dead. Why is he dead? Because he was involved in that shit. You understand? Anyway, so let's take a look at Soundgarden. The name of the song is I'm Going Hungry. Lyrics, but now let me type this in. EPSTEINFILES. Okay. I didn't put song. What? Who put song? Look at this. I didn't put song there. This is what I watch song come up. I didn't put song on there. Fuck face. Do what I'm asking you to do. Temple of the Dog. It's not called I'm Going. It's called Hunger Strike. Okay? Let's take a look at it. Now I want to see them. See what they're doing now. Somebody has brought this thing up and put it next to it and said, this is what's going on. So let me see. Matt Rogan. 13 years. They're hiding. 5 hours. Gypsy. 14. Temple of the Dog. All right, we'll just look at it then. Gruesome, just brutal truth about Chris Cornell and the silent children. That must have been the documentary he was going to make. It's pretty long. 3 hours. Rescue. What is that about? Joe Rogan. Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell's death conspiracy. What's this about? So if this is 8 years ago, how long ago were they put to death? Right? About 8 years. Eddie Vedder. So they all know what they're singing about. Let's take a look at the lyrics. Trump and the Epstein files, hip hop rag song. Hunger Strike. Let's take a look at Hunger Strike and see what they're saying. This guy's been in the industry. Soundgarden came out in, 89, 90, right there with a... Oh, wow, look at this. They're both doing it right here. This is the guy that got killed. That's Chris Cornell. And then Chester Bennington, right, of Lincoln Park, killed him too in the same way. What is this Temple of the Dog? Well, what did Epstein have out there? What's this? Let's look it. Damn it, look at this. And I know I'm everywhere right now, but bear with me. Oh, this fucking devil, boy, look at that. This right here. You see this temple back here? Temple of the Dog. What? Anubis? What is the dog? Temple of the Dog. Okay? Now let's take a look at these lyrics. I'm going to turn the sound off. Okay? Now, Hunger Strike. We're connecting dots here. After the commercial. I might pause it. Okay, here we go from the top. Slock it. Temple of the Dog is the name of the song. Temple of the Dog Hunger Strike by Soundgarden. Or you know what? Temple of the Dog might be the name of the combined band. This is a combined. So this isn't Soundgarden. Temple of the Dog must be the name. See, I put Soundgarden. Okay, so let's go back. Salaki. I'm missing it. Here we go. From the top. I don't mind stealing bread, right? That's the first lyric. I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, right? That's these higher ups, the Epstein class. Bear with. But I can't feed on the powerless. That's us down here on the bottom. I can't feed on the when my cup's already overfilled. Means he's getting money. Yeah. But it's on the table. No, that's not it. It's not but it's on the table. It's blood is on the table. That's not real. Blood is on the table. Let me see. Blood is on the table. The fire is cooking. And they're farming babies. These are slaves are all working. That's us. The every hand of the wicked, right? The laborers that are going to get mad as hell about this shit. Slaves are farming babies. Slaves are working. Blood is on the table. The blood is on the table. Watch this next line. And mouths are choking. That means they're gobbling. A pregnant woman comes, delivers the baby on a table, and they're sitting there with a bib, right, and a cup, and they're doing sacrifice. It's crazy shit. Mouths are choking on blood and baby. They're eating, but I'm going hungry. What is this? Who did this and how long ago? 15 years? My first video with lyrics, so please accept that I'm in the wrong place. From the mouths of decadence, and it probably repeats it all again. But I can't feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. I mean, he made some phony money and we didn't. And they're asking him to join the cult of drinking, but he had to be in it at some level. You understand? In order to become rich and famous like he did. Sorry, but it's on the table. The fire is cooking. And they're farming babies. Slaves are all working. And it's on the table. Mouths are choking now. Blood is on the table. But I'm going hungry. So this is just, whoever did this is terrible. Slovakia. Do it like this. No. Temple. The dog. Hunger strike. Lyrics. Lyrics and meaning. What the fuck is that? Focuses on moral integrity, social conscience, refusing to participate in eating babies rather than literal starvation, right? The lyrics, such as "I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadent," represent a rejection of greed and refusal to profit from the suffering of the powerless. It acts as an anthem against inequality. They're talking about eating babies. They're farming babies to do what? To get and this is fair use to whatever we're doing. Terrorize them, right? Which may have a sexual component to it, and then after that, then you kill them, unalive them, right? And then you extract the adrenalized blood. That's what this song is about. Staying true to what I'm doing now. No. 2021. Let's take a look at it. Damn it, come on, lyrics. Another look. Well, I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when the cup's already overfilled. Yeah, but it's on the table, the fire's cooking, and they're farming. What the fuck? They're hiding this. And the former babies of slaves are all, that's bullshit. It doesn't say that. Oh, this is crazy. So are they hiding it? Hunger Strike, Temple of the Dog. So this isn't a Soundgarden song. This is a band. It was a super group, if you will, and they called it Temple of the Dog. And the name of the song is Hunger Strike. It says best known Temple of the Dog song was something Chris Cornell wrote, questioning whether his music would get commercialized, and eventually found new life once presented to the other musicians of the whatever. And the former babies of slaves are all work. That's not what it said. So let's find one. Slovakia. Bear with me. I know I'm everywhere. Genius. Let's see if anybody gets it. It's the same one. Huh? AZ. Is anybody going to show the truth? It says they're farming former babies of slaves. That's stupid. Okay, I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when the cup's already overfilled. Yeah. But it's on the table, the fire's cooking, and they're farming. What does it mean they're farming? They're growing. They got everybody bringing kids. They got people having children so that they can do experiments, bring them to consume them, and da-da-da-da. People are doing that. And that's what this song is about. Okay? And they're farming babies. The slaves are all working. That's the every hand of the wicked. The blood, meaning you're about to drink that, the adrenochrome, is on the table. The mouths are all choking, but I'm going hungry. I'm not doing that shit. I don't mind saying it, it does it again. Okay? So they're sending a whole, they're snitching. This is a dry snitch. See? What does this mean? Bread from the mouths of decadence. I don't mind stealing bread, money from the mouths of from the rich. But I, who came from the gutter, can't feed on the powerless. When I had made my money, I'm good. But I can't now punch down on the people, of whom I come from, where I come. But it's on the table. What? That baby? That baby's on the table. The fire's cooking. And they're farming babies. The slaves are all working. The blood's on the table. What is that talking about? We're connecting dots now. Okay? There is nothing. This is Luke 12, 2 and 3. There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, and nothing hidden that will not be made known. What you have spoken in the dark, see, those are dark sayings that he put in that song, will be heard in the daylight. Now we're seeing it. Now that the files have come out, we can connect the dots. We heard in the light, and what you have whispered in the inner rooms will be proclaimed from the housetops. This is being proclaimed from the housetops. Okay? So that's another one. So there are all these situations. Michael Jackson, 911, these songs, right? What was that other thing I just seen about a song with Epstein or whatever? What the heck? Can't be that. What was that thing we just saw? Epstein files. I think it was that. Anyway, there was one more I wanted to go over. I can't remember it at the moment. Let me think for a second. Give me a moment. What's going on now that we can clearly see, that we couldn't put a finger on, right? Then shall that wicked be revealed. Let's see if I'm gonna get a precept. Then shall that right? Because we're in that time. We're almost out of here. Second Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed. Now that's talking about the so-called white man wicked, not the laborers. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. We've been saying the things that are coming out now. We've been saying. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, the splendor of his coming, majesty of his arrival. It's tight. Appearance of it. What else? Destroyed by the Lord's glorious return. Brought tonight by the manifestation of his coming. His appearance will put an end to this man and destroy him with his dazzling presence. Look at that. The manifestation of his arrival, the brightness of his coming, and utterly overwhelmed by the awful splendor of his coming. Can't even imagine, right? Your mind can't imagine what you're about to see. The majesty of his arrival. Annihilate. Completely outdo you. Oh, nigga, you can't think this high, right? Wisdom is too high for a fool. So everywhere in the time of the great revelation, right? Everything's coming out. Everything is being revealed. And then the lawless one will be revealed. Right? Why? Because the spiritual nature of the Epstein file. This is how is the Most High going to take this devil? The Epstein file. What we've been saying. See, how the Epstein files are proof of what we've been saying for years now. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, getting our information out of the precepts. The precepts are telling us what this devil is out there doing, right? Because there's nothing new under the sun. They're doing the same old Canaanite shit. So anyway, point's been proven. We're able to connect dots, and a lot more dots are going to be connected. Pam Bondi came out and said that, we released all the files and that's it, right? And that's a lie. There's more coming. The Most High. Well, how do we know there's more coming? Go back, Salah. How do we know? It was Luke what? Lost it. Let me find another one. I think it's right here. Now, let's lock it. That is not what I want. That changed up on me, didn't it? In the same way, the good deeds, 2 Timothy 24. Here we are. There is nothing, Luke 12, 2 and 3. This is what I'm looking for. Okay? How do we know that there are more Epstein files coming in? Well, number one, because the laborers, right? Every hand of the week, they're not mad enough. They're not quite mad enough. They need a little more blood and cannibalism, right? And they need a little more of the debauchery that was going on to where they just fucking can't, help themselves. They're gonna jump up and run up on a nigga. Okay? Luke 12, 2 and 3. There's nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, and nothing hidden that will not be. Nothing. So if there's that's it. There's no more Epstein files. Yes. Well, even if there's not more Epstein files, more information is going to come out of what they already dropped, and it's going to keep on coming out. 911. Oh, you did that? Israeli Mossad did that? So everything, the whole Oprah thing is about to come out, and you'll be able to connect dots. Right? Who are these people? The whole Leonardo DiCaprio. Who is this dude and how did he become who he became? Ashton Kutcher. Who is this dude and how did he be? Well, they're best friends with Diddy. Right? That's connecting dots. Ashton Kutcher connected to Danny Masterson. What happened to him? Well, he ran with Diddy. Ashton Kutcher ran with Diddy. Where's this thing going? All right. We're connecting the dots. Let's get that. The phrase connecting the dots can be used as a metaphor to illustrate an ability or inability to associate one idea with another, to find the big picture or salient feature in a mass of data. Woo! What is that? Or salient feature in a mass of data. It can mean using extrapolation to solve a mystery from clues, or else come to a conclusion from various facts, connecting the dots. Come to a conclusion from various facts. Say connecting. Oh, connect the dots. Metaphor to illustrate an ability or inability to associate one idea with another. Okay. One more. Not Quora. It's easier for more people to realize if you've ever had something quiet out. Get out of there. Go to Merriam-Webster real quick. The final word. Connect the dots to link together logically related elements in order to draw a conclusion. That's what we want, not this one. To link together logically related elements in order to draw a conclusion. See, we didn't know those things were related until the files came. Oh, shit, let's go back. Oh, there it is. All right. Um, this guy Epstein. What is he really doing at these universities in the medical labs and with gene splicing? And where does this actually go? Trying to create a master race, and he be the father of this particular Illuminati bloodline. And what are they really doing? All of that hasn't come out yet, right? How that goes into, you know, basically world domination and whoever's going to run, if it would come to fruition, the wickedness of whatever it is that they're planning. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna end it right here. This dude is desperate now. And are they outing themselves as part of the protocol, or are they being found out? The Most High is exposing. I would say both are going on because they certainly don't have control over what is going on. What am I looking for? Oh, Rev 12. You can always bring this out, and I'll read it in the Berean. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them, but woe to the earth and the sea. With great fury the devil has come down to you, knowing he has only a short time. So things like 911 connecting that's going to get him in trouble. I mean, what does it mean if the Mossad took those buildings? It means that bin Laden didn't. Who did we go bomb and strafe? Iran, not Afghanistan, not Saudi Arabia. The fuck is really going on? Who should be the target? Tel Aviv. With that, we hope that the elect ratified, brother and sister. Shabbat shalom.